Hello, Watoto family. Welcome to yet another exciting season where we get to engage with the very heart of God, which is missions. It's our time for our annual miracle missions offering. God has given us the privilege to give extravagantly to advance His kingdom. And through the years, it's now about 12 years of doing this. Lives have been impacted, and it's just amazing what God has done. Now, coming off last year's miracle offering, just want to give you some updates with what we've done. This has been a big year, of course, as we focused on celebrating 40 years of God's faithfulness. But come the end of this year, we are in the final stages of planting Watoto Church Mukono. We're excited about that. So the people that live in that area, get ready. We know God has opened the door for us there. But also through our MMO from last year, we were able as a church to put together our very first worship album, Send Us. Lots of production that has gone into it, and in a few weeks it's going to be officially released with some global distributors. So it's been a lot of work. But beyond getting the album out, we had an opportunity to take the worship sound from Watoto to Rwanda and also to Kenya. And I'm telling you, lives were impacted. I remember we were in Kigali, and while we're doing the worship expression with our friends from Bethany and made an invitation, young people came, lots of them, probably 100 of them, saying yes to Jesus. That's the power of engaging in God's mission. But I also want to say that out of the Send Us tour, we've gotten invitations. The worship team has already been to Turkey. You can imagine, to be a part of a conference. And this week, the worship team, the Watoto worship team, is in Portugal, part of a big youth conference. And what will they be doing there? Inviting people to engage in missions through Send Us. So God is opening doors for us to use worship as a ministry for missions. God is really good. We also talked about our big mission tracks, and a team went to China, tailor-made. We had to design the track so that it works for us. It's actually 2 tracks, and they are in the final stages of production. So soon and very soon, probably in a couple of months, the mission tracks will be here. One is a big stage, the other one carries a huge generator, but we designed it to also carry some of the team. So we're excited about that, and we're going to go into our schools. But we're not waiting for the tracks. We're already going into schools, and we partnered with some friends called Kubamba from Kenya, and we've been to 7 or 8 schools with our missions team, exploring a new program that we've revamped. Actually, it's called Shift. We've had the program before, and 2,000 young people said yes to Jesus. When the truck comes, it's just going to add to these numbers. We're excited about that as well. And of course, we continue to bless others locally and globally, and we'll be letting you know about that in the weeks that are coming. Now, as we prepare for 2024 Miracle Missions Offering, in reflection to what our theme is this year, we felt that that should be the theme that carries us as we do our miracle offering. When you look at the scriptures, how God rallied His people to be generous to advance His kingdom, but also as a testimony for us at Watoto, last year, God gave us a big figure, $1.5 million. I mean, it looked impossible, but we trusted Him, and God did it for us. In fact, we gave just over $1.5 million, and it's all going to missions. This year, we're saying, God, if you helped us do it last year, you can help us do it again. And so the theme is, awesome God, do it again. And the way Habakkuk says it, Lord, I have heard of your fame. I stand in awe of your deeds, Lord. Repeat them in our day, in our time. Make them known. we are trusting God to help us to give $1.5 million again this year so we can do more to advance God's kingdom. What are some of the things that we want to do with our miracle offering this year? Number one is always, we want to be a blessing to others, locally and globally. So we're going to do that as God leads us. But secondly, we want to focus on outreach, reaching the lost with the love of Jesus. So we already have the track, but as we were exploring how can we be more effective, we realized we needed to also purchase three extra mission vans that will be fully equipped, and they'll help us to go into the smaller schools that cannot be accessed by the missions track. We want to be there reaching our youth, our children, and also being in our universities. I tell you, there's a lot going on amongst the young people of Uganda, but we want to reach them with the love of Jesus. So we want to do that this year. But the other exciting thing we're going to do, Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames. It is coming back, and we want to do it here in Kampala, but we're going to take it as a missions tool to the other cities in Mbarara, in Jinja, in Gulu, and in any of the other cities that God is calling us to go to. We want to go with Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames, and that's what the missions track is going to help us to do. We can set it up in an open field and bring the gospel in a dynamic, creative way. So we're going to get ready to do that. Also in Juba, you're going to come with Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames. That's pretty exciting for us. So we're going to reach the lost with everything that we've got. And thirdly, we want to do some growth initiatives. As a church, we want to continue growing and multiplying. We already have property at Gayaza, Nakweru. Through our miracle offering this year, we want to establish that campus. We want to make sure it is set up and is running. So that's something we're going to do. But also, Watoro Church Mbarara has a very beautiful piece of property they've been renting. We feel it's time for Mbarara to move onto their own property. We want to do that as well through our MMO 2024. And then the fourth thing we want to do is to be more strategic. We are believing God to add to our properties as Watoto family. There's some property opportunities that are coming for us in Juba, South Sudan. Quite expensive, but we're trusting God to give us a home in Juba, South Sudan, but also to purchase more property here in Uganda so we can advance God's kingdom. Whenever we avail ourselves and stretch our faith corporately, it excites the heart of God, because missions is God's heart. And I want to remind us as we pray about this and begin to prepare and get ready to participate, please, don't you ever forget, God is our source. He is the one who will supply everything that we give. He gives seed to the sower and bread for food. And when we are faithful with what God gives us, our generosity will result into thanksgiving to God. And our prayer again this season is, awesome God, do it again. God bless you.